Getting into my body feels right these days, you know?
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boy.
Thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I know I got a measly little 17 subscribers, but the other day I think I was at like 14, and then today I saw that I got 3 more subscribers, or last night I saw that I got 3 more subscribers, and I was like, we moving on up, hey. Hey Bells, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my biggest insecurities with you. When I was on my fitness journey, I was losing weight, I was toning my body. Do you know how many people told me I looked great? But do you also know how many people told me I look too skinny? There was one group of people that were like, yeah, B, you look amazing. I see your abs, you look toned. You could see my like cheekbones because I got chubby cheeks. My cheekbones came through. And then there were other people that were like, I don't like this look on you, girl. You look too skinny. You need to eat a little bit more. One person might think you look like a gremlin. And another person might think you are the most beautiful thing that ever walked this earth. If you look to mold yourself based off of how somebody else defines your beauty, girl, it's gonna be a never-ending journey for you. I promise you, you are beautiful. I promise you, you are beautiful. What I think your problem is, I think your problem is that you surround yourself with people who don't see that beauty, and that is what will damage your spirit. Sometimes it's just a matter of surrounding yourself with people who fuck with you, period. Whether that be physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever the case is, when you surround yourself with people who like you for you, you will find that you are the shit. I'm doing this video in the hopes that whoever watches this video and you have insecurities, you have flaws, I want you to know that you're not alone in your insecurities. We all have them. If anybody points out your flaws and your insecurities, just know that they're doing that so that they can mask their own flaws and insecurities. And I know that that statement is cliche, but it is the truth. Somebody who is happy and who is confident does not bring somebody else down. Period. The only time you do that is when you're trying to build yourself up. The only time you do that is when you're trying to mask your own insecurities. I sound kind of corny saying this because it's like, but I want you to really hear me. You are beautiful just the way you are, with your quirkiness, with your flaws and all. You are drop dead gorgeous. So if me sharing my insecurities makes you feel just a little bit better about yourself, makes you feel like, okay, I'm not 100% alone, girl, let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna be extra vulnerable. The first insecurity that I have is my skin. All my life, my skin has been plaguing my life. Growing up, I never really had anybody to teach me about skincare, which is crazy because I had very like feminine energies around me. I had a lot of like girly girls, girly women around me who would teach me about femininity and how to carry myself as a woman, but I didn't really have anybody to help me with skincare. A lot of the advice that was given to me wasn't catered for my specific needs and my issues. I had extremely oily skin to the point where there were so many times people would see me and be like, girl, why are you sweating? And I'd just be like, I'm just oily. I had acne, breakouts here and there, hyperpigmentation, discoloration, texture issues, you name it, I dealt with it. I remember there was one time, and this happened in church, okay? There was this young girl who was around my age who I looked up to. I loved her fashion sense. I thought she was beautiful. She had great skin. I really looked up to her. One day I'm sitting in church and I'm listening to the pastor preach, and I could feel her eyes on me, like she's staring at my face, at my skin. And I look over at her like, yeah? And she's like, do you wash your face? Y'all, whew, when I tell you that hurt me to the core. core, it hurt me. It hurt me, one, because she was somebody that I looked up to, and it also hurt me because it embarrassed me, and it hurt me because it was something that I was dealing with so aggressively behind the scenes, but because she didn't know that, she wanted to make assumptions. As I got older, I started to learn about my skin. I saw a dermatologist, I saw an esthetician. I see an esthetician once a month to get facials now, and I'm at a place where I'm a little bit more confident about it. But when I was young, y'all, people are so cruel, and people say shit and they assume because what they see outwardly, they just assume that you're not doing anything about it, you don't care, you're not trying. And it's like, first of all, we don't have the same skin type. So what may be a problem for me may not be a problem for you that you have to battle with. I know so many women who just naturally have great skin. It's genetics. It has nothing to do with their diet, how much water they drink, how much they exercise. Although those things are extremely important, there are some people who just naturally have amazing skin. The next insecurity is an insecurity that all my life it has been something that people picked at me for. I've never had anybody pick on me excessively. I've never been bullied in my life, and I'm thankful for that, because even for somebody who hasn't been picked on or who hasn't been bullied, I have had people make, you know, very insensitive comments. I've had people say very hurtful things to me. So I couldn't imagine, like, if that were consistent or ongoing, what that would do to my emotions. Because the comments that were insensitive and that were hurtful, even now at the age of 33, I still remember. And I still remember the pain that that caused. That insecurity is my neck. I've had a deep insecurity with my neck for the longest time. I've had people say, you know, I have a chicken neck, I have an old lady's neck. Do you clean your neck? You know, why does it look like that? The funny thing is, these people are often like family or friends. They're not strangers, which is more hurtful, because it's like you would think these people would be lifting you up, but they're tearing you down. And I think oftentimes, specifically in the Black community, we do this thing where we joke around by saying insensitive things. I don't fuck with that. If you're in my circle, you're my friend, you're my family, and you think that saying something insensitive is playful, I'm good. I never even like thought my neck was different, or, you know, it was chunky, or it looked old, or it looked wrinkly, or it looked like a chicken neck. None of that shit ever crossed my mind until people started making those comments. And then I found myself looking in the mirror like, oh my God, my neck is different. One day, a light bulb went off in my head. I just sat down one day with my grandmother and my mom. I'm looking at her and I'm looking at my mom, and I happened to glance at their necks. And I'm like, hold up, we all had the same little chunky neck. And I'm like, this is cute, you know, a little chunky neck crew. And then it kind of clicked in my mind, and I'm like, this is genetics. Something about that just gave me peace. It made me laugh. It made me feel a connection to my mom and to my grandmother in a deeper way. Like, they get me, they're my tribe, they get the neck. The older I get, the more I'm just like, I like it. I like it because it's different. This next insecurity is an insecurity that I had like very briefly in my life, because it was really one guy who like made it an insecurity for me, because it was the way he said it, okay? I think I was in like my early 20s. I went on a date with this guy. I remember on the date, we're talking and we're laughing, and out of nowhere, in the middle of my laugh, he's like, you got chipmunk cheeks. And I was just like, what do I do with that? Do I say thank you? Do I say, no I don't? Like, what do I do with that? When he said that to me, I was like, what do you mean I have chipmunk cheeks? And I remember I did the same shit that I did with my neck and my skin. I went home and I looked in the mirror and I started like laughing and smiling in the mirror, trying to see what he saw. I know you be doing that sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God, my cheeks are really chunky. Yo, this insecurity was short-lived, okay? But I just remember there was a period in time where okay. I'm gonna be honest, okay? There was a period in time, his statement made me so insecure about my little chipmunk cheeks. I went on YouTube, okay? And I Googled cheek exercises. Oh my God. should I be embarrassed? I don't know. Are you laughing at me? I don't know. But I Googled it. I'm like, okay, let me try to like work out my cheek muscles so I could tone my face a little bit, get my cheek fat down. And I would literally be in my room, in my bathroom, doing my little doing all these exercises to strengthen my jaw, you know, strengthen the muscles so the fat can be burned. Yo. This insecurity fluctuated throughout my life. The insecurity was with the size of my butt. So when I was younger, obviously, like, I didn't even think of like how big or small my butt was. I didn't care. I wanted to play, okay? And I will never forget, I was in the 4th grade and my teacher did this thing where to encourage the students to read, she'd be like, you know, pick a corner wherever you want in the classroom to read. You know, the little school desk. So I put like maybe 2 or 3 of them together and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna read on top of this. So I lay down on my stomach, kick my feet up in the air, you know. My feet are back there kicking. I have my book in my hands and I'm reading. One of my classmates came up to me. She was like, oh my God, Burley, your butt is so big. You know how when people make fun of you, they gotta be loud about it? Like, how come people don't ever whisper that shit? Like, girl, you got a big butt. I found myself back in my mirror looking at my butt like, do I have a big butt? What's big? And then I would start looking at other people's asses like, is her butt big? Is that the right size? Like, what should my butt look like? And then I remember I went to high school. It was either the end of freshman year or sophomore year. God rest his soul, Orlando. I will never forget. I was in the hallway going to my class and I walked by him and he's like, oh, bubble butt. And I'm like, what? Like, you got a nice ass. And I was like, me though? You also got to be mindful that culture plays a role in people's ideas of beauty. So for this little girl who she was white, who said I had a big butt, to her, maybe, you know, I don't know her life, that wasn't what was beautiful or attractive. So then it's like I go into high school, I'm around predominantly black people, Hispanic people, and all of a sudden my ass is amazing, you know? Ever since he said that to me, y'all, I started investing in like skinny jeans, because you know skinny jeans are in back then. I started showing my butt more. I was like, I got a cute ass. Hey. And then I got older and my ass started to disappear. I got enough back there to do a little something, but when I was in my 20s, my ass was happy and perky. My ass was like, I'm just happy to be here. Now my ass is like, So the next insecurity was with my breasts. Yo, and again, I will never forget the day where things shifted for me, that it became an insecurity. I was probably around 18 years old because I remember I was going to an 18+ club with a few of my friends. We all were like, you know, we're gonna get dolled up, we're gonna put on our push-up bras, cleavage out, gonna look cute, you know what I mean? And the club was like in the neighborhood, so we were all meeting up at like this corner store and we're gonna walk to the club together, all right? So I meet up with my girls, we meet up at the corner store and we're all, you know, gassing each other up like, girl, you look cute, I like your top, I like that, I like your shoes, you know what I mean? And so, you know, when you with your girls, you guys are about to go clubbing, you about to have fun, you know you look good, you feel you look good, you know you looking at everybody else like, I know you see me. You know, you just feel good. And I remember I'm standing on the sidewalk, we're getting ready to cross the street. And so it was like a main road, so there were a lot of cars going back and forth. A group of boys drove by in a car. It was a black car. I'm pretty sure it was a Toyota Camry, okay? That's how vivid this is in my mind. They drove by in the car, and there was probably like 4 or 5 boys in the car. One of the boys rolls down his window, stares at me, stares at my chest, and says, throw some D's on that bitch. And I was like, my friends didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. My confidence, y'all, went from all the way up here to all the way down there. I felt like shit. And it hurt even more because it's like I took all this time to get dolled up, to look cute, wear this cute outfit. I felt good about myself. My girls gassed me up, just to have one raggedy ass little boy who was in the back seat of the car stick his big old head out of a window and try to tell me that my boobs are too small. Ever since then, y'all, me and Victoria's Secret, we rode hard for a long time, okay? Because Victoria's Secret has those like two extra cup push-up bras. Yo, that was all I bought. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I like my breasts, you know? And what's funny is I've always liked my breasts. Even before that raggedy old boy made that comment, I would look at my breasts and I'd be like, I love that they're perky, they sit up, they're nice and rounded. Okay, is this TMI? I don't know. You know what's so sad? Most of the people that made comments about my breasts when I was younger, they were girls and women. They would make comments about my breasts. I would say something like, oh, let me adjust my bra. And they'd be like, what you got to adjust, girl? Or I would wear something, you know, maybe my cleavage is out. What you trying to show, girl? You don't need to wear a bra. For what? And it's like, so you just want me to be out here jiggling? You think because I don't have your triple F size cups that I don't jiggle? Men would make very like suggestive comments, but most of the picking on was from women. I love my body, and I say that with complete confidence and complete pride, and I say that to hopefully encourage you to say the same thing to your own body. Just strip naked, look at yourself in the mirror and take it in. Oh, I love my body. I love my body. I love my curves. I love the modesty of my breasts. I love the fullness. I love my body. Another insecurity that I had, and this was definitely growing up, is with the color of my skin. This was purely society and media that gave me the impression that without European features, without a lighter skin tone, that I wasn't enough and that I wasn't beautiful. I struggled with that so much, with wanting more European features, not because anybody made fun of me for it, not because anybody, you know, said, Burley, you're too dark and this is too big and that's too big, but because of what I saw. And I think that that is so important to take note of. It could just be how society maneuvers that makes you feel that you're an outcast. To see, you know, all the boys go after the light-skinned girls, to go after the white girls, and you're just sitting here like, I don't know what else could possibly be different but the color of my skin, but the fact that I don't have European features. So you start to put two and two together and be like, okay, maybe if I try to mold myself into that and what that looks like, maybe they'll accept me more. I do think black men can help in that a good amount of black men struggle with their own skin color and they want to call it preference and go with other colors, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's a preference, you know, you might want to look into why you're attracted to people who don't look like you more than you are attracted to people who do look like you. I'm just saying. Now I'm just like, I love chocolate, y'all, and I just love how it looks, especially when the sun is involved. That's why wintertime, y'all don't see me. I look ashy in the wintertime. In the summertime, ooh, black people shine in the summertime, okay? That's our season. Everybody else stay home. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Alright, Belle, so that's it. That is me sharing all of my insecurities with you, again, in the hopes that it will make you feel a little bit better about whatever you feel are insecurities or flaws within yourself. You are going to go throughout life having so many people tell you you're ugly, so many people tell you you're beautiful, so many people tell you you average. If you try to listen to all that and then mold yourself to all of that, you are going to exhaust yourself and waste away the beautiful time that you have just embracing yourself. There are 7 billion people in this world. Find the people that will love you for you, how you look, how you act, all of that. They accept you for you. Stay away from the people who try to change you and start to love on every single aspect of who you are.